in the explorer's mind. Timbuktu, Machu Picchu, Stoke-on-Trent, and the one we're going to make our way to now, Tibet. Join me on a journey across the roof of the world.
He made danger look like freedom. He walked into war zones, ghost towns, and Soviet ruins, all with a GoPro and a grin. But behind the viral charm of Bald Bankrupt is a man surrounded by controversy, chaos, and something far darker than his audience ever expected. What drives someone to put themselves in places most people spend their lives avoiding? And when you strip away the fame and the views, what's really left behind? The thrill of Benny. Benjamin Rich, better known to millions as Bald and Bankrupt, was not the kind of man the travel influencer industry expected to succeed. His story began in 2018, not with wealth or sponsorship deals, but with financial ruin. In the UK, he had declared bankruptcy. Most people in his position would have been crushed, humiliated, and forced to start over quietly, but Benjamin didn't do quiet. Instead of retreating, he turned his bankruptcy into a springboard for reinvention. He packed a small bag, grabbed his camera, and left for the places that no travel magazine wanted to cover. While other travel vloggers spent weeks planning itineraries, carefully selecting safe tourist spots, and photogenic destinations, Benjamin ignored all that. His compass pointed to the forgotten corners of the world, decaying post-Soviet towns where time stood still.
And the hotel without a name. Let's go take a look around. Alright guys, let's begin. Up the stairs we go to the very welcoming front door of the hotel.
Peeling concrete walls, rusting bus stops, and villages that looked as though they'd been trapped in another century.
The supermarket, basically, Central Supermarket, is now long closed, but you see, this would have stocked much better goods than in other normal towns, non-closed cities, because if you were working on a...
It wasn't just the locations, it was the way he got to them. Ben would sneak into places most people didn't even know existed.
See what we can find. Some Soviet propaganda.
He dodged guards, crept through overgrown paths, and pushed past warning signs, not out of ignorance, but out of a deep thrill for risk. His gear was basic compared to the cinematic productions of his peers. He didn't have any drones, elaborate lighting, or perfectly framed shots. His style was as raw as the environments he explored. He stayed in budget hotels or even bunked with locals who offered him a couch or a floor.
Here we go. Everything a man in Tanutuva could want. Check out this bed. Spongy and... Just make note of the decor. I think you'll agree that it's rather tasteful. A TV that doesn't work.
What truly set him apart was his ability to connect. Charming and fluent in Russian, he could strike up conversations instantly. He didn't need translators or guides. He laughed with street vendors, drank cheap vodka with strangers, sat in cramped kitchens listening to stories that had never been told outside those four walls. He gave his audience moments that felt unfiltered, unedited, real. To many, it seemed like he wasn't a tourist at all. He was a wanderer with a death wish. His rise to viral fame. At first, his channel grew slowly. Then, with each upload, more people tuned in. Soon came the tipping point. Clips of him exploring eerie, abandoned places or casually befriending complete strangers in countries most Westerners had never visited began spreading on social media.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Welcome to Pripyat.
His subscriber count climbed, then skyrocketed until he passed the 3 million mark. And the most shocking part that baffled many was that he did it with no brand sponsorships, no corporate backing, no highly produced edits. His videos often looked like they were filmed in one take. It was the opposite of polished, and people loved it. They praised him for showing what they called the real Russia, not the politically charged headlines, but the everyday life of ordinary people, the charm of the locals, the grittiness of the streets, the strange beauty in crumbling architecture. To his fans, he wasn't selling a fantasy, he was documenting reality. But reality can be dangerous, and that's where the problem began, because the very authenticity that set him apart would also lead him into situations where the risks were far more real than the views could ever justify. The dark turns. In May 2022, Ben decided to push his limits further than ever before. His target, a Soviet-era spaceport in remote Kazakhstan. It wasn't just any normal object. Hidden inside the compound was the Buran, a Cold War-era spacecraft built to compete with NASA's space shuttle.
Soviet spaceship. The Buran.
The place was part of history. It was also off-limits, protected, and dangerous. Getting there wasn't just a travel challenge, it was trespassing. It meant evading security, navigating through hazardous, deteriorating structures, and stepping into an environment not meant for casual explorers. And yet that was the point. The footage he filmed there exploded online.
Guys, look. It's an actual...
While some fans were amazed, others were left horrified. It wasn't long before the Kazakh authorities arrested him. Ben later said he got away with just a fine after speaking to the police, but the arrest wasn't the highlight. The reality of the whole situation was the fact that he was clearly willing to gamble with his freedom just for a taste of danger and adrenaline. Then, in September 2022, Ben posted a video titled, "The Journey is Over."
Capital of the Jewish Autonomous Region. And it makes me wonder why they all left.
This wasn't clickbait, but was rather a turning point. In the video, he revealed that he had been arrested and banned from Russia.
The punishment, one of the punishments, is that I'm being kicked out of Russia with immediate effect. Banned from coming back.
The exact reason? He didn't say, but his audience knew his history, and many speculated it was political. After all, Ben had openly criticized Vladimir Putin in the past. Instead of scaling back, his behavior grew even bolder. He entered war zones. He visited abandoned nuclear sites. Each trip seemed to carry a new layer of danger, and yet each time he walked away with his freedom intact, but not without a price. Critics accused him of promoting recklessness, of encouraging others to mimic his dangerous adventures without understanding the risks. They said his danger tourism was irresponsible, selfish, and potentially deadly. And then came the personal criticisms. In several videos, he made remarks about women that viewers found distasteful. He flirted openly with women on camera. To some, it was harmless banter. To others, it crossed lines both ethically and culturally. At what point does fearlessness become irresponsibility? Fans start questioning. Soon enough, the conversations turned sharper. On Reddit, users began dissecting his every move. They pointed to subtle digs he made about certain places, comments that, they argued, revealed an attitude of superiority toward poorer countries. The phrase white savior cropped up again and again. Some longtime viewers admitted they could no longer watch his videos without feeling uneasy. Others refused to turn on him. They insisted he was just documenting life as it was, rough edges and all. At the same time, some videos began disappearing from his channel quietly. It was mysterious and without explanation. Was it damage control? Maybe, but whatever the reason, it didn't erase the controversies. And then came an absence that people couldn't ignore. Alina, the Belarusian woman who had been his partner and occasional co-star, was suddenly gone.
Look at Alina's x-ray. Let's have a look at her head. Wow, what a beauty. We're now going to a local witch doctor with a Alinchik. They're gonna shove...
She had been a familiar face in his videos, often sharing the screen with him, but she disappeared without any announcement. The lack of any public information made people speculate a fallout between the two, with some comments even saying it's starting to feel less like travel and more like ego. Where is he now? So, where is Bald and Bankrupt today? Despite the arrests, the backlash, and the fan debates, Ben is still making videos. But if you've watched him for years, you can tell something's changed. The chaos and unpredictability that once defined his channel has been dialed down. He avoids Russia entirely now. His travels take him through India, the Balkans, and South America, regions still rich in stories, but far less likely to land him in prison. He doesn't address the controversies. Neither has he given any explanations or offered any apologies, just new uploads. Each is guarded in tone as they are in detail. The mystery is still there, but so is the sense that the man behind the camera is no longer quite as invincible as he once seemed. Maybe he didn't change because of the backlash. Maybe he changed because even he got scared. Closing reflection. Bald and Bankrupt sold us the dream of raw freedom. No script, no plan, no filter. He made it look easy. He made it look romantic. But sometimes, that freedom comes at a cost. To the people you meet, to the places you enter, and to the man holding the camera. He's not the man you thought he was. He's something far more complicated, and maybe unbelievably worse. Do you think Bald and Bankrupt is a fearless adventurer or just a reckless provocateur? Can a travel creator ever truly show reality without crossing ethical lines? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more stories like this. Until next time.